it's not the end of the world.
Okay. Jika diberi peluang untuk mengubah bentuk fizikal, apa yang anda ingin tukar?
Ketinggian.
The divorce between the Sultan of Brunei and his third wife has left many wondering what came next. She was no longer the glamorous queen consort, and the story of her life after their split was very much anticipated. What really happened to her? Join us as we uncover her new identity, her struggles, and the different choices she made. The marriage and divorce. Imagine living a life of unimaginable luxury, where people bow to your presence, only to have it all taken away in an instant. One day, you're a royal commanding respect and admiration, and the next, you're just another face in the crowd, stripped of everything that once defined you. Such was the reality of Azrinaz Majar Hakim, the third wife of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei. Her story is a compelling blend of fairy tale beginnings, public scrutiny, and an unexpected fall from grace after losing her royal status. In 2005, Azrinaz's life changed forever when she married the Sultan of Brunei, one of the world's longest reigning monarchs. Her transition from a journalist to royalty was nothing short of extraordinary. As the Sultan's wife, she was introduced to a world of rare privilege, strict royal protocols, and immense duties. Her new home was the Istana Nurul Iman, a palace so grand it holds the title of the largest residential palace in the world. It was a symbol of opulence that few could even dream of. However, life within those golden walls was not all rosy. Azrinaz had to quickly adapt to her role as a royal consort, which demanded adherence to Brunei's deeply rooted traditions and protocols. The monarchy, though rich and powerful, maintained a low public profile compared to other royal families, placing an emphasis on privacy and decorum. This meant that Azrinaz had to tread carefully, balancing her public duties with the expectations of her new role. Her responsibilities were vast and challenging. She represented the Sultan at official events, hosted visiting dignitaries, and supported various charitable initiatives. Yet beneath the grandeur, there were significant constraints. As a former journalist who once roamed freely in pursuit of stories, Azrinaz now lived a life tightly bound by royal customs. Her freedom to express herself or step outside the palace walls without protocol was greatly limited. Azrinaz's role as a royal wife took on greater significance in 2006 when she became a mother. The birth of her first child, Prince Abdul Wakil, was an important event, celebrated with a 21-gun salute in keeping with royal tradition. However, true to the Sultan's love for privacy, the pregnancy had been kept under wraps until the official announcement. Azrinaz's transition to motherhood marked a new chapter, as she was tasked with raising her children according to Brunei's royal customs, steeped in tradition and discipline. 2 years later, in January 2008, Azrinaz gave birth to her second child, Princess Amira Wardatul Bolkiah. This further ensured her place within the royal family. Motherhood became her priority, with her days dedicated to nurturing her children while adhering to the rigid expectations of the monarchy. Although in between these personal milestones, the media closely followed her every move, especially in Malaysia, where her story was seen as inspirational. Back home, Azrinaz was celebrated as a symbol of elegance and determination. Malaysian publications often praised her rise from a journalist to royalty, highlighting her ability to handle her royal duties with poise and grace. She was seen as a role model for young women, representing her country with dignity on an international stage. However, in Brunei, public perception was quite different. The royal family's emphasis on privacy meant that coverage of Azrinaz's life was limited, leaving much to speculation. Critics often questioned her role as the Sultan's third wife, particularly given the 30-year age gap between them. They couldn't understand why a vibrant 26-year-old woman would marry a man old enough to be her father. Speculation about the dynamics of their marriage and her future within the palace persisted throughout her royal tenure. But by June 2010, these speculations reached their peak when the Sultan and Azrinaz announced their divorce. The divorce was carried out under Islamic law, with the Sultan invoking talaq, an irrevocable form of divorce that left no room for reconciliation. The announcement was made through an official royal statement in which the Sultan described the separation as a mutual decision, emphasizing that it had been handled with dignity. It marked the end of their 5-year union, which had been closely followed by the media since their wedding. For some, the news was the summary of years of doubts about the validity of their marriage. Despite this, the implications for Azrinaz were profound. As part of the divorce, Asrinaz was stripped of her royal title, state decorations, and all official honors. She was no longer addressed as Pengiran Isteri, a title that signified her role as royal consort. This effectively removed her from the royal family's public sphere. However, her two children retained their royal status, ensuring that her legacy within the family would not be entirely erased. She went from living in the world's largest palace, surrounded by unimaginable wealth, to navigating a life far removed from the spotlight. Her story became an example of the unstable nature of power and privilege, a reminder of how life's pendulum can swing from dizzying heights to unanticipated depths. After the divorce, Asrinaz's next move was anticipated, but what happened was quite surprising. What happened afterwards? The sudden loss of her titles and position marked a dramatic shift in Asrinaz's life. After her divorce, she made the life-altering decision to return to her home country, Malaysia, where she hoped to rebuild her life from the ground up. Initially, Asrinaz maintained a low profile, carefully avoiding the spotlight as she focused on rediscovering herself both personally and professionally. It was a time of reflection, healing, and quiet determination to start anew. In her first public statement following the divorce, Asrinaz opened up about her plans for the future. Speaking candidly in an interview, she expressed her desire to move forward and focus on personal growth. Grateful for the lessons she had gained during her time in Brunei, she also acknowledged the profound challenges of adjusting to her newfound independence. She stated that life is about embracing change and moving forward with strength, which signaled her commitment to facing adversity head-on. By 2015, Asrinaz began stepping back into the public eye, making more appearances and sharing glimpses of her journey of transformation. As seen in the press and media, she revealed how she had adapted to life outside the grandeur of a royal palace. Her willingness to discuss the struggles of living in the public eye resonated deeply with many, earning her both sympathy and admiration. Asrinaz's honesty about her experiences, from the emotional toll of divorce to the trials of reclaiming her identity, painted her as a figure of resilience and strength. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of her story was her separation from her children. In many cases of divorce, couples typically arrange shared custody or at least a visitation schedule to ensure a continued parental bond. Sadly, Asrinaz faced a different reality. Her former husband, Sultan al of Brunei, did not permit her to have custody of their children or even the right to visit them. To many observers, the decision to deny a mother access to her children was deeply unjust. Losing not just her children, but also her titles, jewelry, and all that she had accumulated during her 5-year royal marriage, Asrinaz was left with nothing. However, she refused to let her hardships define her. With admirable resolve, she decided to rebuild her life, and in 2018 she found a second chance at happiness when she married a successful Malaysian businessman. The wedding, a simple yet elegant affair, took place at her home, attended by close family and friends. The media widely covered the union, hailing it as a fresh chapter for the former royal consort. Her husband, Firoz Khan Abdul Hamid, who was known for his sharp business acumen and grounded nature, provided Asrinaz with a supportive and steady partnership. In interviews, Asrinaz spoke openly about her gratitude for this new beginning. She described how Firoz understood her on a profound level, offering her both companionship and the freedom to pursue her own happiness. At the time of her marriage, Asrinaz, then 39, shared the joyous news on Instagram. In 2 heartfelt posts, she appeared wearing a simple white baju kurung, symbolizing a fresh start. Her caption, understated yet meaningful, announced that the couple had been joined together. The posts revealed an interesting detail. Asrinaz and Firoz had known each other for over 2 decades. Their long-standing friendship had served as the foundation for a romance that blossomed over the course of a year. "Firoz has always understood me well," she wrote, "and thus I have chosen him as my life partner." While expecting public curiosity about her decision to remarry, Asrinaz addressed potential criticisms with grace. She acknowledged that some might question her choice to remarry, given that she already had 2 children. Her response was both mature and valid. She explained that she is a normal human being, having spiritual and emotional needs. So she decided to marry again, which made her feel complete. This honesty endeared her to many, showcasing her ability to stay true to herself despite the scrutiny she faced. Although Asrinaz had stepped away from the royal spotlight, she continued to carry herself with the same elegance and grace that had once made her a figure of admiration. According to those close to her, Azrinaz spent 2 months carefully preparing for the wedding. For her, this marriage was a turning point. Unlike her first marriage, which came with immense public and royal responsibilities, her new relationship offered her the chance to live a more private, balanced life. Interestingly, life has since taken a different turn for Azrinaz. Exploring opportunities. Azrinaz once lived a life of luxury where she didn't need to work and her every need was met. However, she now navigates a path that requires both effort and courage. Thankfully, her earlier career equipped her with the skills and confidence to step back into the world of business and philanthropy after her time in Brunei. Drawing from her media expertise and carefully crafted public image, she successfully ventured into the beauty and lifestyle industry, launching a brand that embodies her core values. This new chapter of her life has brought not only personal growth, but also the freedom to be herself. In her current marriage, Azrinaz finds joy and contentment in pursuing endeavors that inspire her, while maintaining a loving and supportive relationship with her husband, Firoz Khan Abdul Hamid. The couple's shared sense of adventure has led them to explore new places and experiences. For Azrinaz, this has meant finally realizing dreams she once held close. One such dream was her visit to Palestine, a place deeply significant to her both spiritually and emotionally. She described the trip as a dream come true and expressed immense anticipation before the journey. In an interview, she shared her excitement, saying, "My husband and I will set foot in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, Jerusalem, Palestine. It's always been my goal in life to be there, and both of us are looking forward to that day." This trip was not just a honeymoon, but a deeply meaningful spiritual journey. Azrinaz revealed how excited they were to meet Palestinians from various backgrounds, share an iftar with them, and explore the city's historical landmarks that hold great significance in Islamic history. The visit to Palestine highlighted a harmonious blend of her personal and professional pursuits. As a former TV personality with a passion for storytelling, Azrinaz has long used her platform to highlight meaningful experiences. The trip also became an opportunity to connect her audience with a place of profound cultural and religious importance. Azrinaz's life took another leap when she announced her pregnancy with her 4th child. In February 2021, she surprised many with the news that she was 7 months pregnant. On Instagram, she shared photos from her maternity shoot, captioning the post, "This is not a throwback. What you see in this picture is happening now. Pink or blue, what to adore? Here we go with my number 4. She expressed gratitude, saying, "Alhamdulillah, Syukur Allah is blessing me and my husband by giving me another chance to carry another life again at this age." For Azrinaz, this pregnancy came as an unexpected but welcome gift. She acknowledged the closeness of this pregnancy to her last one, with her 3rd child, Arissa Mala, being born not long before. Yet instead of waiting, she embraced the moment. The announcement reflected both her optimism and gratitude for the blessings in her life. She also called on friends and family to keep her and her baby in their prayers, emphasizing the importance of their support for a smooth delivery. The journey from her previous marriage to the Sultan of Brunei to her current life has not been without its challenges. Many have speculated about whether Azrinaz ever attempted to gain custody of her children from her first marriage. The reality is that any such attempts would likely have been futile. The Sultan made it clear that his children would be raised within the palace walls, making any negotiation for custody incredibly difficult. This situation has led some to wonder about the nature of her previous marriage. Was it contractual in essence? How does a union last only 5 years, only to end so abruptly? Well, the dynamics of marriages differ widely, and Azrinaz's experience offers a glimpse into one particularly complex arrangement. Unlike typical newlyweds who explore their relationship and grow together, her marriage to the Sultan placed her in a highly unique position. As the Sultan's 3rd wife, she was entering a union with a man who had already been married twice. The power dynamics, cultural expectations, and her lack of prior marital experience set her apart, creating a scenario where building a traditional partnership might have been more challenging. In contrast, her current marriage reflects a different story. Having weathered the trials of her past, Azrinaz has embraced a relationship built on shared understanding and genuine connection. Firoz, who is also a seasoned partner, complements her in ways that allow her to spread her wings and rediscover herself. Together, they embark on journeys both literal and metaphorical, blending their lives in ways that honor their individuality while nurturing their bond. As Azrinaz continues to thrive, she demonstrates resilience and reinvention, carving out a new narrative for herself that is both empowering and inspiring. Now, let's look at her life before the whole drama. Beautiful beginnings. Azrinaz Mazhar Hakim's journey from a young girl in Kuala Lumpur to a member of the Brunei royal family is a remarkable tale of ambition, perseverance, and unexpected events in life. Born on September 23, 1979, in the bustling city of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Azrinaz was raised in a middle-class family that, although not wealthy, was well respected and instilled in her the values of hard work and self-sufficiency. Her upbringing was far from ordinary, as her family had access to modern conveniences such as television and other gadgets, which were not as common in many homes at the time. This exposure to technology sparked a deep interest in communication and media, and from an early age, Azrinaz began to develop a passion for storytelling. Her fascination with the media led her to pursue a career in journalism, and she took her first steps by attending a local high school in Kuala Lumpur. From there, she focused on building her skills, particularly in broadcasting. This dedication to her craft soon bore fruit. Azrinaz began to make a name for herself in the media world. With her eloquent reporting and captivating presence, she quickly became a familiar face on Malaysian television, first through her work with TV3, one of the country's leading free-to-air networks. Her professionalism and clear communication skills earned her the respect of both her colleagues and the viewing public. Azrinaz's rise to prominence in the media world wasn't just due to her talent behind the camera. Her charisma and natural grace played a significant role in her success. She had a unique ability to connect with her audience, sharing stories in a way that felt personal and engaging. This natural storytelling ability, combined with her intellectual curiosity, helped her stand out in the competitive world of Malaysian journalism. As her career progressed, she gained a reputation for being a reliable and respected journalist. In interviews, Azrinaz often spoke of her deep passion for storytelling and how it motivated her to connect with people, making her an even more beloved figure in the media landscape. Azrinaz was not just admired for her work on screen, but also for her elegance and intelligence. These qualities set her apart in a field often dominated by those who focused more on appearance than substance. She was seen as a modern Malaysian woman, ambitious, driven, and independent. Azrinaz embodied the values of someone who could balance a demanding career with a grounded personal life. Before her marriage to the Sultan of Brunei, she was known for her unwavering focus on her career, never allowing external distractions to deter her from achieving her professional goals. This sense of independence would later prove to be a defining characteristic of her life, both as a member of the royal family and after her divorce. Azrinaz's life was definitely bound to change when she crossed paths with Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, the ruler of Brunei. The way in which the two met has always been a subject of fascination and curiosity for many. How did a successful journalist from Malaysia end up marrying one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the world? Many wonders if it was the allure of royalty, the luxurious life of a queen, and the fame that came with it, or maybe there's something more to their connection. While details about their first meeting remain somewhat unclear, some reports suggest that Azrinaz and Sultan Hassan al first encountered each other when she visited Brunei for a journalism assignment. At the time, Azrinaz was already an accomplished television journalist, known not only for her looks, but for her poise, intellect, and professionalism. Her confident demeanor during her reporting made a lasting impression on the Sultan, who, despite already having a wife, was captivated by her. The Sultan's attraction to Azrinaz was not entirely surprising, given his position as a monarch. In Brunei, the Sultan has the right to take multiple wives, a tradition that is rooted in the country's royal customs and Islamic law. As one of the wealthiest men in the world, Sultan Hassan al could attract women of immense beauty and intelligence, and Azrinaz was no exception. Malaysian media outlets reported that the two began to develop a connection after their initial meeting. Although the details of their early relationship were shrouded in secrecy, it was clear that something special was beginning to form between them. The Sultan, known for his private nature, ensured that their courtship remained out of the public eye. This secrecy served two purposes. It allowed him to keep his personal life away from the media's prying eyes, and it also shielded Azrinaz from the harsh scrutiny that could come with being associated with the royal family. Their relationship continued to grow, and when the news of their marriage was finally made public, it came as a surprise to many, even to those within the Brunei royal family. The wedding was a highly anticipated event, drawing attention both in Malaysia and internationally. On June 20, 2005, Azrinaz and Sultan Hassanal were married in a private ceremony. Malaysian media outlets referred to the union as a fairy tale moment, while international media outlets were captivated by the unusual nature of the marriage. Azrinaz's transition from a prominent journalist to a royal consort was a significant moment in her life. No longer would she be the face of the news, reporting stories from behind the camera. Instead, her role would be confined to the Sultan's palace, only appearing in public at royal events and ceremonies. This shift from a career in media to a life of royal duties marked the beginning of a new chapter in Azrinaz's life. Her move into the royal family brought her both luxury and scrutiny. The contrast between her former life as a journalist, reporting the news, and her new life as the wife of the Sultan, where she would often be seen in the background at royal functions, was clear. Yet despite the challenges that came with this new role, Azrinaz carried herself with the same grace and poise that had won her the admiration of millions in her earlier career. Her marriage to Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, a man who had already been married twice before, was intriguing, but also symbolized a new chapter in her life. But how about the Sultan? What was his life like? The Sultan of Brunei. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah is the 29th Sultan of Brunei, a position he has held since 1967, following his father Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin III's decision to abdicate. Born on July 15, 1946, in Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei's capital, Sultan Hassanal's life has been an extraordinary journey marked by immense wealth, political influence, and a network of complex relationships. His reign spans over 5 decades and has set him not only as one of Southeast Asia's wealthiest monarchs, but also as a prominent figure on the global stage. From a young age, Sultan Hassanal was groomed to assume leadership, a training that began within the royal confines of Brunei. His education took him to elite institutions, including the prestigious Victoria Institution in Kuala Lumpur and the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in the United Kingdom. These formative years equipped him with the necessary knowledge and skills to lead a modern nation while preserving Brunei's cultural heritage and Islamic traditions. His education ensured that he was well prepared for the responsibilities that would come with becoming Sultan. In 1984, under his leadership, Brunei emerged as an independent nation, marking a significant milestone in the country's history. The Sultan's astute leadership also transformed Brunei into a major global player in the oil and gas industry, elevating the country's position as a prosperous and wealthy nation. With vast natural resources, Brunei's wealth is a well-known source of the Sultan's fortune, and he remains one of the richest individuals worldwide, with a net worth running into tens of billions. It is this fortune, largely derived from the country's oil reserves, that has played a central role in the Sultan's extravagant lifestyle and the remarkable legacy he continues to build. Despite his private nature and reluctance to seek public attention, his lavish lifestyle has never failed to captivate media interest, with his wealth and opulence making him a constant media subject. Also, Sultan Hassanal's personal life, particularly his relationships with women, has always attracted attention. Before Azrinaz came into the picture, his romantic entanglements were part of the ongoing narrative of his reign. His first marriage in 1965 was to Raja Isteri Pengiran Anak Haji Saleha, who also happened to be his first cousin. Their union, which has lasted for nearly 6 decades, remains one of the most stable and enduring in the Sultan's life. As his first wife, she holds the title of Raja Isteri, which is equivalent to Queen Consort. This title gives her a position of significance and influence within the royal household. Despite the Sultan's later marriages, Raja Isteri Pengiran Anak Haji Saleha has remained the Sultan's official and primary wife, and their bond appears to have grown stronger with time. Together, they have 6 children, one of whom, Crown Prince Al-Muhtadi Billah, is the heir apparent to the throne. In 1982, Sultan Hassanal married again, this time to Pengiran Isteri Haja Mariam, a former air hostess of both Bruneian and Japanese descent. Their marriage produced 4 children and added to the Sultan's royal lineage. However, this union ended in 2003 with a divorce, and following the separation, Mariam lost her royal titles but maintained a relationship with her children. The reasons behind the divorce have remained a matter of speculation in the media, though some reports suggest tensions within the marriage, possibly due to differences in expectations. In 2004, the Sultan married his 3rd wife, Azrinaz Mazhar Hakim, a journalist from Malaysia. Their marriage, however, was notably shorter than the previous ones, drawing significant public attention for its swift decline. Various factors have been suggested as contributing to the breakdown of the marriage. Sources close to the couple have pointed to challenges associated with polygamy and the pressures that come with being the 3rd wife in a royal household. For Azrinaz, who had a career-oriented background as a journalist, the transition to royal life must have been demanding. Her independent lifestyle before marriage likely clashed with the rigorous expectations placed on her as a royal consort. Being the 3rd wife of the Sultan in a deeply traditional Islamic monarchy came with its own set of unique challenges. There were expectations not just to fulfill royal duties, but also to adapt to a lifestyle that was vastly different from her prior experiences. Reports also hinted that the Sultan's position as the leader of Brunei, a deeply conservative nation, imposed tremendous pressure on Azrinaz. Brunei's monarchy adheres strictly to Islamic customs and values, and this created an environment in which Azrinaz's modern and independent inclinations may have been at odds with the traditional role she was expected to play. Additionally, the Sultan's prominence and wealth brought with it the complexities of managing multiple relationships, and the focus on royal succession may have further strained the marriage. One of the most pressing issues in their marriage was the fact that the Sultan's eldest son, Crown Prince Al-Muhtadi Billah, was always seen as the heir apparent to the throne. Despite having 2 children with Azrinaz, their offspring were not in direct line for succession. This situation likely created a sense of imbalance within the royal household, as the attention of the Sultan was naturally centered on the Crown Prince and his family. These dynamics, paired with the intense scrutiny from the media, put additional pressure on Azrinaz. To make matters worse, rumors circulated in the press suggesting infidelity and jealousy within the marriage. These tabloid stories, fueled by the Sultan's status as a powerful and influential figure, painted a picture of a relationship strained by competition and rivalry. The challenges faced by Azrinaz were not just about adapting to a new lifestyle, but also navigating the intricacies of royal protocol and managing the Sultan's attention, which was divided among his wives. In the public eye, the Sultan's extravagant spending habits became a regular topic of conversation. One of the most notable symbols of his wealth is his palace, which boasts over 1,700 rooms. His lavish lifestyle extends beyond his royal residence. The Sultan is known for his extensive collection of luxury cars and a penchant for private jets. While these displays of wealth have captured the media's attention, the Sultan has never wavered from his commitment to Brunei's Islamic values. In 2014, Sultan Hassanal made headlines with the implementation of Sharia law in Brunei, a move that was met with international criticism. This decision sparked debate globally, drawing attention to Brunei's political and religious landscape. Despite the controversies, the Sultan's position remained firm. His dedication to maintaining Brunei's Islamic identity is unwavering, even as he continues to navigate the complexities of both his personal life and his political duties. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.